Hey man, how you doing?
I'm okay. Just yeah.
Just trying to cram everything in. I know the feeling.
Hopefully, my
Sometimes,
headset's about to connect.
and you can hear me. I'm hoping you can hear me.
I can't. I can. You're just coming through the speakers.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so unorganized today.
It's all right. It's all right. I should have given you a countdown like I did the other week. All's well. Welcome everybody to Read This Way, episode 86. While we wait for Brad to organize his ears. And here's your premium option for all manga news. No, not really. I mean, it's just
Here
we're doing our best. We're doing our best to keep on top of things. But you know, once a week is difficult to be bleeding edge, isn't it?
I suppose.
You know, we do a little bit of catch up, but at the same time, you know, we can take our time to analyze a few things that happen.
It is a little bit late, but did you hear about the Black Lagoon news that I sent you?
Yeah. I hadn't heard about it, but when you sent it to me and I read it, I then heard about it. Very, very interesting. And
yeah,
I guess anybody who has experienced Black Lagoon, no major surprise.
No.
Like,
just consuming it made me it ruined me at one point.
Yeah, I think it actually ruined quite a lot of people. Quite a lot of people.
Oh my god, I love it so much, but bloody hell.
It's rough. It's rough.
I did a rewatch. Good lord. I did a rewatch. When did I first watch it? I would have first watched it probably around the time it came out, like 2006, like a little bit after. So whenever the dub.
You see, that's what came out. Was it 2006?
It was 2005.
Okay. It's one of those series where you're just not 100% sure when it was made and where it came from, because it blends so well with the old school, and the new school kind of stuff.
I think the anime was 2005.
Yeah,
the manga's been going since 2002.
Yeah, still running. It's still running, isn't it?
It's on hiatus.
Well, yeah, but that just means it's still running.
Yeah. He wants to go back to
break.
it. It's just that obviously there's a lot of trauma, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, look.
In a bit.
I mean, anybody in their right mind probably should leave that alone because it's a pretty dark topic. Yeah.
He wants to finish it.
Yeah.
And I actually think so. When we talk about it, in a little bit more detail. Hey, Nerdburgers. This is going to be a bummer of an episode.
We're going to not entirely.
No,
we've had some fun stuff.
Black Lagoon talk.
Yeah, that's the getting real talk.
Cliff Notes. Dude has opened up about their depression after a 15-year hiatus, and they struggle with depression. So,
not just your regular run-of-the-mill depression. This guy was deep in the depression.
At his worst, contemplated suicide a few times.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not
whatever, man. You know what? Let's just run straight into that. Let's not dilly-dally. Let's not cliff note. Let's just jump straight in. God damn it! Every time.
Right, you are, sir. I was like,
Right,
you know what?
let's-
That's a very good point.
Yeah, let's just jump straight into it because it's a really rough topic, and it's a topic that seems to be quite prevalent in the manga society as a whole.
Yeah.
So this poor fellow's experience is, I guess, a lot darker than most, considering his popularity. But
Yeah, without sounding like I'm being an absolute prick, it does also sound like they were taking a lot of criticism to heart.
on board, yeah.
Yeah. So
But
they
that's
were
what depression does, man. It makes
absolutely.
you know, it stops you being able to sort of differentiate between the good and the bad, the right and the wrong. It attacks the core.
And like judging by what he was saying in the article, he also suffers from pretty bad anxiety just overall.
Yeah.
Oh God, I keep fogging up my glasses.
Seems to be having a pretty hard time of it, is what it is. And after 15 solid years of coming to grips with, could you imagine that? Man, you not only did you have like one of the best manga series of its time, but also one of the best animes of its time. And you find yourself deep in depression, not being able to work on this project because you are so worried about what's going to come out the other end.
I think there's that is a major part of it, and the part in the article that talks about his dad's death was super rough. So his dad was dying of a chronic illness while Black Lagoon was popping, and he
that's not what you want.
prioritized. Yeah, he prioritized the comic, and his father passed, and so there's a lot of regret tied up in the series as well, linked to the loss of a loved one.
That really sucks.
There is some slight silver lining news. It's so they're not just completely withdrawn from the industry. They are still doing illustration and actually maybe they're just doing writing stuff. No, sorry, I do lie because they've been doing dojinshis, so little ones, just to kind of stay in the
keep it fresh.
Yeah, but he worked on Recreators.
Recreators.
Yeah, it was the really cool anime about
Creators.
It was kind of an isekai, I think. Young high school student, anime fan, dreams of writing his own light novel, and then that's right, things start coming into their world, and it's like a lot of the it was really big. When did it come out? 2019, I believe. Oh no! Wow, the anime is 2017. Holy crap!
Going back.
That's insane.
Time flies,
but yeah, a lot of the people's characters and stuff get brought into the real world, and it like has really cool fights and stuff.
Yeah,
it was really a really cool series.
This is a great example of the industry supporting its creators.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
they completely understand that he doesn't want to jump back into it but they're happy to bring him in when he wants to do little bits and pieces, when he wants to feed himself back into the system. But jumping first back into, a weekly or a bi-monthly or something like that is so much stress. So much stress for these people. And if you're not in the right frame of mind, you break.
Yeah.
You really do. And he's clearly broken really hard because he made a very, very tough choice, which was no doubt supported by his editor at the time as well, to continue working during his dad being ill.
Yeah.
But it's decisions we make. You can't put that completely on the editor's choices as well. You can't put it on the magazine or the manga. And I think he's boiled down to the fact that he made that choice.
Yeah.
And that's really ripped him apart inside. And everything else after that is just icing on the cake, I would say.
Wait a minute. Did they do Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro? What?
Possibly. I mean, why the hell not?
No. This is an anthology of various doujinshis. So he's not just been regulating himself to his own universe. Because you've got this little doujinshi here. Like, there's a few little ones he's done of Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I absolutely love the doujinshi market in Japan. It
so cool.
blows my mind that they're allowed to just do basically indie comics with other people's properties.
Well,
to a degree.
Yeah, it's weird because they're not allowed to, but they do it anyway because there's no prosecution because
it's fan work.
Yeah, and it kind of facilitates people being picked up into the industry as well. So it kind of works, right? Yeah.
It's like a resume for these people.
Yes.
They come in because there hasn't been the avenues like we have today where you can jump online and you can do your one shots to webtoons and stuff like that. Back in the 90s and 80s and 2000s, you had to do this kind of work where it's very similar to the way Marvel and DC worked as well. You had to present to them works of their creations in order to get into the market.
Yeah.
Whereas with like in the States or most English speaking markets, you can't sell that kind of material. Whereas in Japan, they have whole freaking collections of people in conventions that are completely dedicated to doujinshi, and it's a celebrated platform.
It also gets a little spicy in there too.
Oh yeah. That's another. I think that's something that the creators love just as much as the people doing the work. Is they like people expanding on that sort of material, and you end up getting that whole, one character plus Wolfman sort of scenarios.
The thing that's really weird, because I remember I read Fuka, which was a weird spiritual successor to, well, it was made by the same creator. They did a sports series, and the two main characters from that end up having a kid who is the main character of this music manga that they ended up spinning off to. And it's really good. It has like a major plot twist in like chapter 20, like pretty early on.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's it's all about like the music sort of thing, and it's a bit of a rom-com, and so main boy, main girl fall in love over music, start a band, and then something happens taking her out of the picture, and then he continues with the band as a bit of like an homage to her.
So wait a minute, it starts with her,
Yeah.
and then he becomes the MC.
Well, it starts with them.
Okay,
Yeah.
bit of a beaten motion
He's
sort of scenario.
he's more of the MC than she is, especially in
Okay,
the manga. In the anime that only got one season, um, they did pivot a little bit story wise, but I much preferred the manga. It was really cool. But at the after it wrapped up, the creator did a very spicy doujinshi epilogue.
this is the thing,
He's like, gonna
they
make porn of my
use
own
this.
stuff.
Yeah, but it's the stretch into the material that they don't put into the regular PG level material, but is insinuated in there.
Yeah.
It's just they're elaborating on those areas. And they're not. They really aren't designed for story development. For entertainment purposes, and things like doujinshi conventions and likes of, you get a lot of that sort of material floating about.
Yeah.
But you also have a lot of really good stuff that's just basically indie creators doing creative stuff, which is really good. Really
I
good.
think
Man,
that's
I would
like
love to go
how
to one of those.
we got things like My Hero Academia Vigilantes, or other spin-offs,
Yeah.
and other little properties. I dare say they're either coming from Dojinshi's assistants, like that sort of group.
Yeah. Just, man, we spiraled way off. We were talking about depression first up.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Going back to depression. Did the article speculate that he's coming back to work, or is he?
So he never really left work. He just left Black Lagoon. He does want to come back and finish it. There are currently 13 volumes. So like it's a good whack into the series. But yeah, it's going to be once he can get.
I'll be honest, man. I know he wants to, but he probably shouldn't.
It's kind of the same as I've forgotten his name, a Vagabond creator. Like he's gone off and done a wheelchair basketball manga that's not as popular, but still pretty up there. But he also says that he wants to go back and finish Vagabond.
But
it's also
he just started.
It's been 10 years, and also that, yeah.
And he's been doing One Punch Man, hasn't he? Is that the same guy?
No, that's not the same guy.
No, not the same guy. That's Murata.
That's Murata, yeah.
Oh, I get those two mixed up quite regularly. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I think it's because they've done some work that's kind of like similar avenues, but yeah, that's very silly of me to get those two confused.
Yeah, they're not even remotely close.
Murata's the one who, Murata started the anime studio. The Vagabond guy, was he but he was basketball guy, wasn't he? Not wheelchair basketball, but the other one.
I'm looking.
Sorry.
Yeah. Slam Dunk.
Slam Dunk, that's the one. Slam Dunk guy. Yeah.
Which he pretty much went.
Dude could just retire right now.
So he did Chameleon Jail before Slam Dunk. Did Slam Dunk for 6 years. Did another little 2-year series around basketball, and then went from 98 to 2015 hard into Samurai.
I'm starting to speculate this guy's got a little bit of the spicy hyper focus going on.
But he also did. He started Real, the wheelchair basketball manga, only a year later after Vagabond. So I assume he was alternating releases between the two up until just putting Vagabond on hold.
On hold. Man, I was gonna start buying that series, and I'm like, and if he's not going to finish it,
well, apparently it does have like ending, but it's based on wait, is it based on something?
Yeah. It's based on the famous samurai. What's his name?
I thought it was actually
Musashi.
Yeah, Miyamoto.
Yeah.
That's
it's
right.
Based on the early days of Musashi.
Yeah.
And so it would make sense if it finished, and he was at the end of the series. He was the famous Musashi. That's the end of the series, because the series was meant to be about his years beforehand, traveling around and just slaughtering people.
Being a vagabond.
Yeah.
We did it again.
Sorry.
But yes, sorry. They do want to come back. The editor, so towards the end of the interview, he said, to continue as a manga artist or mangaka for the rest of my life, it's important to maintain this state and be able to draw for the rest of my life. Rather than thinking about how to improve, I'm thinking about how to prevent things from dropping off. I'm thinking about how long I can maintain the status quo. And when asked, do you want to finish Black Lagoon? He reportedly replied with force, of course, that's why I'm continuing.
Keep pushing until he can finish it off.
It just sounds like he's trying his damnedest to move forward, but it's a struggle.
It's because it was a title that reminds him of a time where things were incredibly rough.
Yeah.
But picking it up, I completely understand. Picking it up again and going again is going to be one of the most difficult things that he can do. And
it was a very heartbreaking read.
Yeah.
But also really uplifting at the end.
I wonder where the season was. It was 2 seasons or 1? I think it was 24.
It was
24 episodes.
1 season, and then we had some OVAs.
Yeah. So we probably got maybe
a season and a half.
Volume 3? Got to volume 3?
Nah. Oh, hang on.
Maybe volume 4?
No, we got up to at least volume 6, I reckon.
Really?
With the maid.
Man, I feel like they rushed the series then.
I'm not sure. I actually haven't read it.
Yeah.
I loved it when I was an edgy teenager. And then
it is an edgy series.
It always held like a really cool place in my heart. And then when I went to go back to it in my early mid-20s, mid to late 20s, I tried watching it, and I was also depressed.
Oh yeah.
And it was not a fun watch when you're already depressed, because it's like, hey, everything's shit. I'm like, yeah, I know.
I'm vibing that.
I'm like, I don't, this isn't making me feel good.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it gets really rough towards that mid roll of that first season.
Yeah.
A lot of people get screwed over in that series.
Yes, there's been a few series that have done that kind of thing to me in the past, and Black Lagoon is definitely one of them. I think
It's hardcore series though.
you know something that has a very similar vibe to it is Iron Blooded Orphans. I'm not even joking. It's a very
I
similar.
know. And that's why I'm kind of hesitant to pick it up because I know it's going to make me feel things that I'm working hard on pushing down.
You get a bit more before it starts pulling you down. At least you get you at least get 3/4 of the way through before it starts tearing you apart.
Get attached to everyone before they start.
No, there's a really
died.
bad point at like the halfway point, and then it's no. Okay, so it hits halfway point and it just steadily just declines from there. Sorry. And just gets worse and worse. But highly recommend it. It's a great series, and everybody should watch it and experience it. At least it's not some weird kid just being sad by himself.
That's right. And it is nice to know that he has been working on other things in the
yeah. Keep him busy. Keep him busy, and keeping working on things is a very important component to it. And he's clearly done a very good job keeping himself distracted and keeping his skills
really like recreators.
Sharpened. Yeah.
We should do a watch party for it.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. We'll do that. Sounds great.
I'll jump into a little bit of news actually, to lighten the mood a little bit. So My Hero Academia will be hitting its final season in October. And so that'll be the final clash with Shigaraki and Deku, as well as wrapping up the or animating the epilogue chapters.
Nice. They've kind of taken their sweet time with that, haven't they? I think the animation studios, the new one that took over, who was it? I can't remember.
Bones Film.
Bones. Took over those last the last season. They took over. So I haven't watched the new or the most recent series. I'm kind of waiting to watch it when the final season comes out.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna smash it all out in one hit because I think it's gonna feel better. It's gonna feel better.
Anime honestly lost me after when they screwed up the villain arc. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. I feel like recently anime has been screwing up left, right, and center. Don't get me wrong, the animation is not screwing up. The animators are not screwing up. It's the adaptation, it's the writers, it's the producers, making decisions to cut off things at certain points or removing things from the story as opposed to actually pushing them in and actually giving us some more story development.
I'm glad you brought that up because I did want to talk about that, and we'll talk about it later because I suppose we can talk about it now. Because that's my feelings with Solo Leveling.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it, and it's really goddamn pretty. But story-wise and everything, it's leaving me a bit wanting. Mainly because I've got like Jack in the background being like, it's actually pretty good because this, and I'm like, they didn't show that in the anime, so how am I supposed to be all hyped about it?
Yeah.
And I've watched a bit of cut content stuff on it, and yeah,
it's a lot. It's a fair bit of stuff.
It is. and even to the point where it feels like Japan's kind of refusing to animate certain things because it's a Korean series and doesn't paint Japan in the best of light.
Very much like the Japanese do about the Koreans. It's all political stuff, and being the Australians that we are, we don't understand.
It's making me want to read it at least.
Yeah, look, I've been thinking that I might give it a read because I'm kind of in your camp, sort of. It's keeping me interested enough to keep coming back and watching it. Okay, so I'm coming back and I'm watching it. There's 50% because I want to watch it, 50% because I want to hate it. So I keep over analyzing. So when I watch it, I don't actually enjoy it to its full content. I'm over analyzing everything that they're doing, all the decisions they're making, and all the character development ideas and how they're portraying the characters. I'm just like, this looks like it's got so many holes in it, and the story looks so terrible to me because I'm overdoing it. I'm not just listening to the music here. I'm really pushing myself into analyzing it, and mainly because people are so hyped for it. People are so psycho for this, sort of.
So my big thing that I've noticed is that, especially with the episode where spoiler, Jinu wakes his mom up and he cries, and a big section of the fan base that was, as the kids say, glazing on Jinu and his aura, was like, oh, he's showing weakness. This is bad show, ew. And that's where that line is, right? So they're marketing the show wholly and solely kind of to that market, which is just turn your brain off action, when the show / series has a little bit more that it wants to say and is trying to say, but it's kind of just being
glazed over
solely to like really cool fight scenes and just, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I pick up my phone every time they start fighting. I think that's half the problem, is they fight too much and there's very little character development in the series, when I know for a fact the book and the manhwa are both a lot more in depth with the character development. So Man Amount of Work is just like is like, I don't, there was a huge death in the most recent episodes. Like, what are you talking about, man? I don't know. They didn't even, I was telling him, I was like, they didn't even have the guts to kill like main characters. To me, it just like they had the opportunity to like really rough things up and destroy some characters that they developed over time to make some impact. Instead, they kill a character that they introduced in the last episode for 5 minutes. And to me, I just looked at him like, I don't care.
I was like, oh, wow, his head's gone.
Yeah, who cares? And when I was talking to this guy, he's like, I've read the light novel, I've read the manhwa, and he hasn't actually been watching the anime. He watched a few episodes of the first season. He's like, okay, whatever. And he's like, there was meant to be like this big, like Naruto style backstory to this guy.
Yeah.
And we should have had at least a complete episode dedicated to the backstory of these guys going to the Ant Island the first time.
Yeah, like
that's what we needed.
5 minutes of them having soju.
Yeah, we needed that event to the previous event, because we got a taste of it in the first episode, right? Of them going to the Ant.
And I felt like it was mishandled.
I think that was that. Oh, so horribly mishandled. Yeah. Like the whole series, I feel like has been mishandled. And my
but yet it's still ridiculously popular. It is
I
insane.
understand why. Because people think it's shiny. That's it. People think it's shiny, and shiny stuff they are attracted to. And when they see all the spinning cameras and the VFX lights shining and things moving around, they're like, "Oh, this is the most epic thing in the world." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's not." And I tell you what, everybody is going to be seriously grounded this next season because we're going to have a lot less of that.
You reckon?
With Lazarus and Virgin Punk coming out next season, we are going to have action scenes that are so grounded in just general everyday action. That people are going to be like, "Oh, wait a minute. I can actually see what's happening in the animation."
You say that, but people.
I know that it's completely going to glaze over them, and they're going to go, "Oh, this isn't bright enough for me, and things aren't moving and flashy enough for me."
But you're also forgetting that it's also the like wish fulfillment, self-insert. Like it ticks all the boxes.
I don't get the self-insert thing. Whenever I've read
Yeah,
comics,
it's
I've
blank
never
projected.
related
Yeah.
to a character because it's a fantasy world. These
Yeah.
characters aren't meant to be that relatable. They're actually written in a way that you either like them or you dislike them. Like anytime someone comes to me and says that they relate to Shinji, I'm just like, what is wrong with you?
You jerk off under.
That character is designed to be disliked.
Which honestly was weird because that was what got me like I couldn't get into the series when I was younger.
Yeah.
Because I was like I hate him so much.
That's the point of it, though. You're meant to dislike this guy, and he's meant to be weak and unable to cope and not being able to, get through life in general. He literally has people looking after him right up until the very last minutes of the entire series.
Which I mean, he should because he's a child.
Well, that's right. But he's a whingy, whiny, pain in the ass
Yeah.
freaking child that you want to die. You want him to die, but he doesn't. Anyway, that was sidetracked. Getting back to Jinwoo, getting back to Solo Leveling, it feels like it's just lacking that character development. It really is. But that character development's there, and they're not doing it.
Yeah,
We're missing it.
It's not interesting enough.
And I've noticed that they've mentioned they're like the most highest rated episodes on Crunchyroll, and also the lowest rated episode on Crunchyroll. So they claim. So yeah, Solo Leveling claims both positions.
Is it the crying episode?
It is the crying episode.
See, I told you.
It's the crying episode, and it's because it's mechanical. Nobody actually wanted to watch it. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to know he has a home or a family. We don't give a shit. What we want is him to cut some stuff up, and that's it. That's all they want from the series. They don't want anything else. And I can see the series trying to grab and hold some sort of character development as he steeps further into, becoming a monster himself internally and giving up what little soul he has left to gain more power. I understand that. I can see it happening, but it is so heavily glazed over that most people don't even notice it's there.
Yeah.
So the whole effect and the whole idea of his character growth is literally ignored for the entire series, which makes it stale to me. Just I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of glad that I've got ReZero airing at the same time.
Oh my god. Let's sidetrack over there because I did just watch the most recent episode. Is that the last episode of the? That can't be the last episode of the season.
Nah, we've got more.
We've got one more,
Pretty sure.
right? We've got one more.
Good.
I'm pretty sure.
Definitely, we've got to have more, right?
Got to have more. Because it's mid battle. It can't leave me there.
So, hang on, did you catch up with the sub?
Yes.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. I'm literally right up to date.
Why does it keep? It's because it's finished, maybe. But yeah, no,
Well,
it definitely.
This is the thing. I think this is the mid-season break.
No, we already had one of them.
When? When did we have? Did
we only got like 6 episodes. Oh yeah, that's right. Because the last episode was the
glutton.
Yeah, gluttony. Gluttony was starting to unravel gluttony a little bit.
Yeah. Oh God, he makes me angry. He talks too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, a couple of them make me a little bit frustrated because they talk too much.
So this is the part where it's maybe not going to have as much weight for you because the reason why they're all saying that
in season 2
that Subaru definitely can't run into gluttony.
No, you know what? I understand. I really do. Like, I know I didn't watch season 2, but I've seen enough of what's happening, and I've seen
he's responsible for why Rem's the way she is.
Yeah.
But we still don't really understand how all that even really works, or if
they're working that out at the moment.
Yeah,
they're working through it. B Girl is very fascinating. The one that's got like the I've forgotten which one she is.
Wait, are you talking about the dragon?
The regenerating one.
Yeah. She's a dragon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like her. She's creepy.
The
one that like turns into gets blown up and has a building dropped on her.
Yeah.
She's a dragon.
I find her thoroughly interesting.
Oh yeah, she's super entertaining, but she gives me the ick.
I feel like she's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And her idea and perspective of the world is broken in some way.
I mean, all of the Sin Archbishops are in their own special way. I mean, Regulus was next level.
Man, I loved watching him go down. Holy hell. What an end to a fight that was.
That was really satisfying.
Something else.
Love her.
Beautiful. So absolutely beautiful. It was great to watch. Everything. So the great thing that I really love about the series is there is a consistency to everything. There's a consistency to plot. There's a consistency to animation. There's a consistency to the direction and the cinematography. Everything is just sits. It's the same all the time, and it gives you the same experience all the time. You're not jumping from low quality to high quality to this to that. It's always giving you that same level.
I'd argue that there are still points where the animation goes, but like its normal point is everyone else's.
You can't go on scenarios where they're all sitting around conversing around the table. That's just not expected.
Good.
Yeah, you could go hands that scenario, but you're not going to.
I'm so glad I introduced you to Go Hands.
I know. I love them. It's disgusting, but I love them. They're so gross.
It's so weird.
It's like watching Michael Bay Transformers. You can't look away. You hate it, but you
Do they
can't
have
look
another
away.
new ones?
That's it. I sent you a
Really?
link. I sent you a
Yeah,
link
yeah.
to a new one that they're
They've got
producing.
another one.
Yeah, and the camera rotates even more. I feel kind of bad because their 2D animation stuff is phenomenal. Like
Well,
they
yeah,
do
and
really, really well. And I would love to see a series taken seriously from that studio that was not encapsulated in 3D rotation.
apparently this one that they did in between
Oh,
doing oh, it aired the same time as the girl that forgot her glasses at school.
okay.
They somehow did too. And that was the one that made everyone want to vomit, and this one was apparently pretty good.
This is what I don't understand. I feel like
In
maybe
saying
there's
that though,
two heads of studio
uh,
doing different things.
the the girl I like forgot her glasses has a pretty high rating on MAL.
Oh my god.
It's like
Maybe it's a good story.
7.14.
Really?
No,
I
yeah.
don't know, man. Some people like the rotating shininess. They really
Well,
do.
Momentary Lily is sitting at a 5.5 there.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
because it didn't really have. Look, okay, so you
It
know how I
feels like
said I.
three different shows morphed into
So
one.
it does, and you know how I said go back and watch. So I told you to watch a specific episode, which is
You
episode
did.
8. Episode 8 of Momentarily, and the vast majority of it's actually done in 2D. So
Okay.
it's not jumping around between 3D and 2D. It's mainly in 2D, and it's a lot more character emotion based than it is about the flashy action, but it's also got some flashy action in there. And the balance is actually really good in that episode, where you're getting the flashy action at a good level, amount in the show
Yeah.
versus them having some static camera action, camera interactions between characters, and it's good character growth. It's a story about the MC's missing sister and her missing memory, and there's actually all this other stuff going on. Yes, there's actually there's like character growth in this series.
Did did they end up surviving? The one with the constant moving?
Yes.
Good. Maybe the budget
It
will
continues. The,
survive.
the main the main cast seems to continue and go throughout. The jiggling is just, it's not even relevant in that episode. It's a little bit of it, but it's just non-existent almost. They were striving very heavily for a lot more emotion from the characters. And you can see whoever directed that episode was like, no, I need more of this and less of this to convey some
Good.
information. So this is the frustrating thing about this company is I'm like, they have it. Like they've got it sitting there in the palm of their hand. They've got the creators and the talent and clearly the money to keep producing high quality material.
They really want the
But
3D to work.
somewhere they're really driving this 3D to try and fit in. And I think they're doing it wrong.
Do you reckon that like one of them bought like something really expensive to help them like
Yeah. Look, honestly, I would say yes. I've seen that on so many occasions working in so many different places. I know for a fact that companies tend to purchase something, realize it was a mistake, but still have to use it anyway because it costs so much. It could be one of those scenarios, but at the same time, I'm like, I would say it's because they're a small studio and they're just trying to do something that's different to everyone else.
Yeah.
And it's definitely different to everyone else. No
I
doubt
mean,
about
God
that.
bless
And they
them.
stand out. And I think that we need more of this happening to progress the direction that we need to head in. I know it's kind of gross and great at the same time. Go Hands is one of those love-hate relationships I have with a property that is generating a dream. That's what it is. They're
Yeah.
generating a dream. Someone's got an idea, someone's got a dream to do a thing, and they are pushing and pushing hard to try and make that happen. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't, you know. It's very much like Cheat Skill. Did you see that new trailer
Oh,
for Cheat
I
Skill?
didn't. No, I forgot.
Oh.
Ah,
So
sad.
I think
Is it good?
they're doing an OVA for In Between, which is a recap, but they've gone back and reanimated the material.
Have they?
And holy shit, it looks pretty tasty.
No, I can't shit on it
Oh yes.
anymore.
Maybe. I think they've kept a lot of the shitty 3D, but it looks like some of the more serious action fights, they've actually gone back in and really spent some time on it.
That's good.
Which is great.
I still don't approve of the beginning. Like,
No,
God, that
look,
was so cringe.
I love hating that series, but it's because it's cringe and it knows it's cringe, and it keeps with the cringe. It keeps cringing all the way through and gets even cringier as it progresses. It doesn't try to be cool, and it doesn't try to do anything different. It's just gross. And it keeps
Yeah.
with the gross. And that's fine. Look, that's fine. People can love it, whatever. I enjoy it because I love hating it. That's probably more so the point there. I think it's a dumb series, but I'll watch it anyway.
I was trying to find when you sent through cheat skill.
Oh
But
man,
yeah, I think I
no.
lost it.
Yep, yep. I've sent you a few things.
It didn't feel like it was that long ago.
Somewhere in between all those dick jokes I've sent you, there's a trailer.
This is solely because I was scrolling through our chat history. I saw a short a little while ago talking about how Inoue Asano's Goodnight Punpun is unadaptable. And I feel like a good approach to something like that would be like that mixed media kind of like
Live
a
action Who
yeah,
Framed Roger
Who Framed
Rabbit
Roger
kind of
Rabbit.
scenario.
So and have him as the only animated, or him and his family as the only animated characters that are like the weird little bird people, and then you get that hyper realistic, because everything's realistic because it's real. Yeah, I feel like that's maybe the only way it'd work, and it would be weird as shit.
It'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting. That whole series, which has broken so many people,
putting that out there because I want it.
It would be, yeah, I'd be down for that. I really would. I would like. It's tricky.
I mean, from what I've watched of Dead Demons, I'm confident that you could. It'd hurt a lot of people. Just like Takopi's Original Sin's going to break a lot of people.
You mean on an emotional level, it's going to break a lot of people.
I'm not going to tell anyone what it's about. I'm just going to be like, here you go, watch it.
I've handed that book to so many people and just gone, this is a really, really good story. You should read it. And then just given it back to me and gone, what is wrong with you? So many people are like, oh my God, Berserk's the worst thing I've ever read. It's horrendous. And then I hand them to copies. I'm like, oh, this is a nice story. It might be a palate cleanser for you.
It's a different kind of dark fantasy. It's not a
Oh, it
fantasy.
is. It's worse. It's worse than. This is the thing. It's worse than bloody Berserk. It's worse than Fire Punch. It tears you
It's
apart
because
on a
it's so real.
soul level. Oh, it's so
Because it's
rough.
so it's apart from Takopi himself, it's a very normal setting, which makes it so much
Is it
worse.
though? Because that's a pretty horrendous environment. And if that's a normal setting, then something needs to be fixed. Oh
Switching
man.
back into light-hearted news.
Yep. Go back. Go back.
uh,
Let's get back in.
I'm gonna give everybody whiplash today. Shinobi Undercover has actually gotten its first reprint.
Shinobi
Pretty good.
Undercover.
Yeah, it's a Manga Plus title. I did actually check while we were talking about other things.
I think I've tried reading that before.
You did, and I think you were like, very meh about it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever read it.
I don't
It's
know.
got 26 chapters at the moment, and it's gotten a reprint, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of all I have to say about it.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
We did briefly talk about Makane and the Sea Woman ending last week. It is now ended.
It's officially ended.
Yeah. It was like on its wrap up, and now it's officially ended as of.
I hope they got to finish it properly. It did have a fair run, didn't it?
Well, Volume 5 will be released April 4th. Probably not in Australia, but
6 months. So it got 6 months.
yeah, it's got like it ended with chapter 43.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, cool. So there was actually a few trailers and dates that we've gotten. Might as well start it off with Kaiju number 8. So these are going to be in no particular order. Some of them are going to be only a couple months away. Others are going to be in like October, September. So Kaiju number 8 is season 2 is going to be broadcasting July. So that's not too far.
Not close enough though.
I know. Oshinoko season 3 is going to be in 2026. So that one's a bit off. But they have released there are new PVs for all of these as well, by the way.
Yeah.
My Hero Academia, which we already spoken about. Did I mention that was going to be? Yeah, I did in October.
Yeah.
This is actually the other half of that key visual that I showed you before.
Nice. It looks really good.
Part 2 of Sakamoto Days will be also coming July.
I think that's picked up a lot more fandom for the anime.
It's funny because it doesn't feel like we've gotten a date. Yeah, because we've got one more episode of First Core, I think.
Yeah.
So it's gonna like wrap up and then go straight into the second core, pretty much, or maybe have like a couple of months break in between. I forgot that
I'm
we're only in
hoping that
March.
they've just done a lot more work because there was a bit of a lead up. It's not like they announced this yesterday. They announced it like a couple of years ago, wasn't it? Even.
I don't remember.
It's been a while since they announced it.
Yeah. So yeah, just a mid-season break. By the looks of it. So we'll have episode 12 airing soon. And then jumping straight into Slur.
Ooh.
And all of X's fun friends. The rest of his friends, because they're only really showing Deerman and what's his face, the gamer dude.
Yeah. Next season, what arc will we push into there? It won't be the straight into the
Can't remember.
JAA school arc, would it?
No, it can't be.
No, there's something else in between there, isn't there? Something else. I know there
I
is. There's
feel
got to be
like there
something in
is.
between.
But then, in saying that, the first 12 episodes felt like they've covered a lot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like it's been rushed or anything, or anything's really been cut. It just feels. Well, that's what it is. It's because it's such a high action series. We're getting the fight over a lot of chapters, and that gets compressed.
Like kaiju, the way kaiju works. You know, it feels like you've read, like they've given you 6 chapters, but it feels like you've read one.
Yeah,
it's a single fight.
It took me a second. I'm like, nah, it doesn't feel right.
Yeah. So we might get no, there is something in between.
I can't remember what it is either though.
Because it's got to do with, have we had the Tokyo Tower?
No, yeah.
Scenario?
Oh, that's right. Because we're just getting the prison break. That was that was what was leading up to it. The dude crushes all the people, and we get Old Man. Yeah.
We get all the killers that they pull out of prison and stuff to come and kill Sakamoto.
Which then leads into the JAA and the rest of Slur's friends.
Yes. Yeah.
That was literally the last episode I just watched, was the introduction of those guys.
Yeah. So we've got a bit of action to go.
Man, I'm so excited to see Old Man. I've forgotten his name again.
Yes, it'll be nice to see him again.
He just pops up, and then goes away.
Opens doors with his sword. Love that guy. I love the fact that he's the most dangerous killer in the entire series.
He's so cool. He's probably my favorite. Mainly because he's just drenched in mystery. We know nothing about that old man.
No, nothing. Which is probably one of the greatest things about him.
Yeah. Season 3, Spy Family, October.
Okay. That's a fair gap.
I think. Yeah, October.
The second season finished up last year, didn't it? It was a last year thing.
I think we also had a movie as well, Code White.
Oh, we did too. Yeah.
Still haven't watched.
I probably won't.
I probably will, mainly because I keep forgetting that Endo is also a Fujimoto alum. It doesn't fit with the rest of them.
He does.
Because
the quality of work is definitely there.
But his series is full dopamine, whereas everything else from Fujimoto and the other alums is all dark fantasy. It's the black sheep.
Yeah, I guess it is. I guess the others got broken by doing One Punch Man, and then not One Punch Man, Fire Punch. Whereas the Endo came out the other end, happy fellow.
I keep forgetting that he was an assistant. There is a new Jujutsu Kaisen movie coming out end of May. I think it's going to be a Gojo glazing movie.
Oh, it's the Gojo prequel. I'm young Gojo kind of stuff.
It's called Hidden Inventory Premature Death, which I guess is an interesting title.
Just a little. Does that make sense? Say that sentence again.
Well, okay, look, it's exactly, this is how it's written.
Hidden inventory / premature death.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't
Oh,
remember a lot of JJK post like pre-final arc.
well, you didn't
Like
get a lot of his
everything.
story. You didn't get any of his story
Oh no,
besides
we
that.
did. There was a flashback
No,
arc.
yeah, but it
Him.
was directly connected to the main story.
Yeah,
Yeah, which we've already covered.
that's right. We have. Yeah, I don't know. Is this
This is
anime
like a
like?
prequel to that.
Yeah. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Because the next one is
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
Baby. Yeah. September 19th. There hasn't been any specific information as to whether or not that is September 19th worldwide release or specific Japan release or anything. We don't know yet.
I don't care. Give it to me. I want it.
Fuck, I hope we get a theatrical release so bad. I
We'd be
need to see
lucky.
this in cinemas.
We'd be lucky to get it.
No. Oh, it's gonna be
Hello,
so good.
Denji. I recently
So excited.
revisited the series.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't actually watched the anime yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's yeah.
Because I'd been lazy. I hadn't gone and watched it because I'd already read it all. It was interesting, and I understand why there was a few angry people.
Yeah.
There,
Still?
I think there was too much 3D. There really was.
No. What everyone was actually pissed about was the muted color.
No, that was perfect.
I know.
The muted color was absolute precision.
I think because they only had the color of the covers to go off, and they're always like high
Pop and
fidelity.
vibrant,
Yeah.
but did they not
Yeah.
read the series?
But also, do you not know his influences?
Yeah, the whole
it was
thing's
referenced in the
grounded.
OP.
It's all grounded in reality in some degree. And Chainsaw Man, as fantastical and crazy as it is, it's still grounded in reality.
I've
People are still
always
going to work. People are still going to school. It is still reality. And
I've
those
always kind
muted
of like
colors.
felt like it was very much in that vein of like a what would you classify like a lot of the Tarantino, Rodriguez, what are they called again?
Action films.
No, but I'm sure there's a particular term for it. I don't know. Go
No,
on.
I get where you're heading. And their genre of film, I feel like they kind of created their own little
Yeah.
genre in their own world there, which was so heavily influenced from material from the 70s and 80s that it generated something different in that sort of 2000s period.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see why the color scape that is chosen, which is very, you know, Tarantino / Rodriguez / you know, all those great films from that time period, the colors weren't over the top. They were always relatively muted and realistic in their range, mainly due to things like restrictions of cost
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You know, it was all really based on the actual cost of creating the film. But I get where they were at. I don't understand the muted thing. The 3D stood out to me more than the muted color. It really did. I feel like it was the issue because it was kind of like a sore thumb scenario. I would have loved to have seen a proper hand drawn Chainsaw Man. I know how difficult that would have been, but
Yeah.
it would have been nice. Could you imagine a Trigger Chainsaw Man?
You trying to kill them?
I feel like they would do it justice.
All All right.
They
If we're
do
gonna
it their own
be,
way, though. This is
if
the
we're gonna
thing. It
be
would be like an
wishful,
alternate universe
I want to
kind of
see
scenario.
Trigger Fire Punch.
No, no, they can't do Fire
Hmm?
Punch.
Why
That
not?
would break me.
Could you imagine him being animated all the time?
I feel like a studio that's willing to brave that kind of environment should take it on. I don't think anybody would ever make it though. It
I hope
wasn't.
someone does.
It wasn't popular enough, was it? Like it was popular, but it wasn't like groundbreaking. I think personally, I think it is a superior story to Chainsaw Man. But most
I feel like
people
it's got a
probably
bit of
wouldn't
a
think that.
cult following now.
Yeah.
I mean, it never got like its own official box set or anything either.
No. Most people don't get past the first tunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they struggle. It hits hard. That first tunk.
I suppose.
But the people who get through it are just like, this is amazing.
Especially the ending is just like, what?
Yeah. The ending on that one is intriguing and wonderful and thought-provoking.
So in 2017, Fire Punch was nominated for 10th Manga Taisho. The series ranked 15th in the nationwide bookstore employees recommended comics of 2017.
Oh, could you imagine recommending that in your store? Oh, yeah, I'm pointing at you.
What do you
I'm
think
pointing
I do? So, okay, no one apart from anyone that works at the book chain that I work at is going to know this. But I recently had to do training videos for the rest of the company because we did so well with the first part over Christmas that they were like, hey, as a reward,
here's some more work.
Film part 2. I'm like, crap. I mean, thank you for the dinner and the gift voucher that I immediately spent on manga.
That I reinvested back into the store. Here we go. Here we go. Show and tell time.
Yeah, it is. And you're gonna love it. I got the first 3 of Delicious and Dungeon.
Nice.
And they're so pretty.
Yeah.
I
keep telling people to watch this series.
It feels like a little bit more minimalistic than I was expecting. With some of the art. Yeah, but like in a good way. Like in a smart way, to be honest.
Yeah. Don't need to draw all those backgrounds.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just get in the way.
And then they got bits like this.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna read them.
I do. I've got the first one, but I haven't actually I haven't read it yet. Don't know why.
So we did a section when I was doing the training video where we had it was all about customer approach and whatnot, and I specifically kind of used Chainsaw Man, Fire Punch, and the in between one shot books.
What's in between that?
The one shot books. It's like. Okay. One of my coworkers was holding Chainsaw Man. I was like, oh, hey, if you really like Chainsaw Man, you should check out this and this. Yeah. So I like plugging Fujimoto and Fire Punch in the training video.
So the community in your area is surprisingly knowledgeable in manga.
Oh, no. This is Australia-wide. So this is going all the way up to Queensland.
Yeah, nice. Fujimoto. We're going to start the cult now.
It's between Fujimoto or Sanderson. Like, I'm really They're my two saints.
Oh yeah, I
that
need to get
I'm
back
gonna.
onto that. I need to get back on this Anderson.
I'm glad that you've started.
Yeah, I know you are. You're happy about that. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Good. You're
News,
reading
news,
the
news.
sad
We're
man
still on
book.
news.
So Jump's YouTube channel has 2 million subscribers, and they did a commemorative PV, which is actually pretty fun. But also, guys, you only have 2 million subs at this point. You're Shonen Jump.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused there. Like their
What?
their weekly titles basically get that many views on the
I mean,
on the reg.
I don't think they've really pushed that hard into their YouTube channel, but
Yeah, I
it
didn't
just
really
feels
notice they
kind of
had one.
weird. Yeah, they just put anime PVs up. Sorry, manga
Yeah,
PVs.
yeah.
Um, so a little bit odd news. Hang on. One Piece adjacent. Koisuru One Piece by Daiki Ihara is getting a short vertical anime adaptation.
What
the
does
series
that
will be
mean?
streamed. The series will be streamed on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram during 5 days, starting on April 1st. So it'll be literal like TikTok, YouTube Shorts format.
Oh, vertical format. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
understand that now.
yeah.
Because when you said vertical format, I'm just like, what the hell does that mean? Now I know. I get it. Interesting.
I've never heard of this before. So I don't actually know what it is. I literally found out about this as we started. So it translates to One Piece in Love. Spin-off
Okay.
manga that was published in Jump Plus, but I don't think we actually got it because it was back in 2018.
What? There's a piece of One Piece content we didn't get?
I know, it's crazy.
It's pretty wild.
Um,
It's got a deer in it. I'm down.
One Piece has a deer in it. What do you think Chopper
No,
is?
no, like a proper deer.
He's a proper deer.
No, he's not. He's a bipedal deer.
The running gag is that he's a tanuki.
Well, that wouldn't be a stretch. Well, it would be a scroty stretch,
I
but
mean,
it would be
his antlers are removable. He's got a blue nose.
Tanukis are fun.
So yeah, I don't know. It's a weird little spin-off thing. So I don't know if it's gonna be like a maybe like 3 minute or less little
Like little
shorts.
slices. Little
Yeah,
slices.
little odd one. But the anime is coming back for One Piece.
Hmm.
And oh no, right, they're just clumping two things together. We're also getting what is it called again? One Piece will be publishing special color anime illustrations in the upcoming Jump magazine.
Of course. Of
Because
course.
One Piece.
It's all about One Piece.
Yeah. September and is going to be the continuation of the Egghead arc. Egghead arc. That kind of hurts my brain.
Yeah.
But this is like some of the art that they've showcased.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fish racing.
Yeah. Weird shit.
Which we all like.
is
The
One
stuff we
Piece
love.
is weird shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell Teacher Nube by Takeshi Okano and Sho Makura will be publishing a new series titled Hell Teacher Nube Kai. Series will be starting in cool, Psycho Jump. I don't know if that's one of the ones that we get in Jump Plus.
Well, hopefully.
It looks kind of cool. Like it looks
It's
like
interesting.
Devilman era
It does look
art
very
style.
Devilman, and there was a manga, an early manga, and an early anime, right, for this.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure there was.
Yeah. This is a series from the 90s. I think. So it could be a remake? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's remaking slash redoing kind of territory, which I think there seems to be happening a bit at the moment. They're stretching back to that sort of 90s, early 2000s era, and they're starting to grab things from that period that weren't so popular, or as popular as the big stuff, and reimagining it, which would be interesting. Interesting,
Which is weird because we're also getting like the Black Torch anime, which surprised everybody. Allegedly, even the creator.
Siren next,
Right?
You never know.
Right?
Yeah, could be.
At least Siren has more manga volumes than fucking Black Torch did.
Yeah, well, true.
And it was
true.
And it was more
it's still a conversed about series. So this is the funny thing about Siren is people still talk about it. So it's a pretty well loved series.
Well, I mean, I found out about it through like AniTubers, because when it was like coming out, it was like still kind of the Wild West over here for anime manga. And it got heavily overshadowed by a lot of
everything
others.
else.
Yeah. Because it was around the big 3 time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did read it quite early on. On the bad place on the high seas.
High seas.
It wasn't available to general English speaking folk at that point. Which a lot of the stuff that I read early on, you just couldn't get access to. There was no official
if it
apps.
Did,
it would have been great. Would have been great.
It should have like taken off the same way that the big 3 did. Well, maybe not that big, but at least like up there.
It had the potential to be something very different and very interesting versus the other guys. I personally still think that it should have been a short series as opposed to a long-running series.
I mean, it's not that. How long are you talking? Because it's not
kind
super
of
long.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, kind of where it's at. I didn't think it was a bad ending. I didn't think it was like
felt
abrupt.
It
was a little bit rushed, but it didn't feel like it was poorly done, is what I'm saying. I feel like the whole series, the series as a whole, was pretty well encapsulated. It could have done with a little bit extra at the end, but not a lot.
Yeah,
like
I would have probably liked
like one more time.
That's pretty much what I was. I was going to be greedy and say 2, but
I think 1 would have been sufficient.
Yeah, but I'm greedy, and I really, really love Siren.
We know, we understand. And we'll get it. We'll get it one day. Even if we have to make our own animation studio, we'll do it. Can I quickly say some stuff?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know whether you've got a few more things up your sleeve or not.
But nah, it's a good break.
Excellent. Right. Well, I want to talk about Moonrise, which is Wit Studios' new
145 chapters for Siren.
There you go. That's pretty good.
It's like just over 2 years.
Yeah, it's a year and a half. Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, it's 3 years.
Yeah, it's 3 years.
Yeah, it's 3 years. Sorry, 3 years. I don't know what my brain was thinking then. I didn't do the math correctly. I'm just like, yeah, brain didn't work so well. Moonrise. Have you heard about Moonrise? They've kept it oddly under the radar.
Nope.
like super under the radar, which is insane because this thing looks magical. Not in the sense that it's magical, but the animation is absolutely stunning because it's with studio. You got to expect that, and the premise is really cool. The whole moon's a prison kind of scenario in the future is a great premise. So I'm expecting some really cool looking stuff from this.
Ooh.
I think it's either it's a series. I think I had a weird feeling it might have been a movie.
Yeah. No, it looks like it's going to be a series.
It's going to be a series. Okay, cool. So keep an eye on that. I think that it'll either be later in the year.
June. Oh wait, shit! June. No, never mind. Wait, no.
You said June.
I did. The series was originally announced June 2022. Originally scheduled for 2024, the series is now set to premiere on Netflix on April 10th. So even better than June.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So
it's another April one.
Everyone's I know April's gonna be an absolute fucking banger. Yeah. It's gonna be absolutely insane. So keep your eye on that. Moonrise. It's gonna be mint. It's gonna be really
It does
good.
look really cool, actually.
Now, Supercube. Have you heard of Supercube? Everybody's heard of Supercube, right?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, man. They're all talking about it at the moment.
No one's talking to me.
Yes, they are. Everybody's talking about it. How are you not talking about it? So Supercube is a series. It's Chinese produced manga, anime. They call it something else over there.
I can't remember.
Or something like that. It's got a.
I think you're right because I always chuckle because I'm a child and I hear dong first.
Dongwa. Yes, we do have a little giggle because a dong is what we call a penis, right? So.
Thanks for explaining that, man.
Well, you never know who's watching this, right? So Supercube is basically the big Chinese action series that's kicking in, solo leveling style, big sweeping 3D background action going on. It looks pretty shiny. The animation looks really nice. There's a slight problem with it though. You can't watch it anywhere.
Oh.
So they've advertised the crap out of this and people are like drooling waiting for this to come out, and none of the big distribution Sony, I'm talking to you, guys have actually picked it up. So right now the only way to watch it is pirate sites or signing up to a Chinese site if you know how to read Chinese and all that sort of stuff. You can navigate your way in there and watch it as well. I believe there's a little bit of content on Bilibili, which we have access to, which is the Chinese version of YouTube, I guess. It's the easiest way to describe that.
Yeah, I'm only seeing the one that you said on Bilibili and and on YouTube, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think it's going to start
unofficial uploads.
Yeah, it's going to start getting really unofficial real quick because I think the popularity is going to pick up real quick, and someone will snap it up. They will.
Oops.
I don't know. It's just going to be another big action, flashy hoo-ha. I'm sure it will look great. I'm not.
Although I think it might be on Prime. I think they might have picked it up already.
Oh, really? That would.
But in saying that, just big old asterisks. Even though I'm searching up Supercube on Google and everything, everything that keeps coming up, like on the Super Cub, completely different thing.
Yeah,
so I don't know if that Amazon Prime thing is attached to this or if it's.
I think so. I think it looks like it's attached to that.
I'm kind of confused.
So Daily Motion, you can watch it on Daily Motion as well, but it's really low resolution and it's no good. The whole point of the series is it's really high definition, looks great kind of stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully someone will pick it up and we'll all get to watch it and make fun of it. I'm just going to have a quickly talk about this week's one shots. You read any? There he goes. There he goes. We got rid of him real quick. It's the easiest way to get rid of him. Okay, that's all right. If you haven't read any, that's fine. I'm here to recommend them to you.
I'm locked in on Ultimate Exorcist Kyoshi at the moment.
You're enjoying
I'm
it,
having
aren't you?
so much fun.
I knew you would love it.
It feels kind of like Soul
early
Eater.
2000s. It feels so early 2000s. And I'm like, this has got Brad written all over it.
Like even a little bit like D. Greyman, Blue Exorcist.
Yeah, it's got all those influences rolled up in it. And it's got just enough of influence from all those categories to keep you kind of like enjoying it. And the character design is just amazing. I really love the character design in it.
It's funny because it's basically One Punch Man, but they do a really good job of having tension by just removing Kyoshi.
He's still a little bit limited in his function. A little bit. I know what you mean, but yes, he's a fun character. I do like him a lot. He's good to watch.
I've just gotten up to the second part of the test where they've gone into the forest and there's the big guardian beast.
Oh yeah,
and he's just a good boy.
It's fun moments like that.
Really he's just the goodest boy.
Yep.
Which did give me like big Blue Exorcist vibes, which is like something similar happens in that with Shiro's cat. I think it is. I don't know. It's been too long. It's like early Blue Exorcist. When he like gets the familiar of his adoptive father after Satan killed his adopted father.
Yes. Spoiler from the first chapter.
I mean, it's literally the whole premise.
The whole reason for the series. Okay, so the one shot I want to talk about this week, because there's only one I'm going to talk about. The other one didn't interest me too much. So there's one called From Hitman to Hitmaker. This delightful little 58-page series is about a hitman who, like in the first few pages, you get a rundown of him at the end of his days as a hitman. You know, he's gone and he's killed a bunch of people that were, you know, tying him up in this world, and he's sick and tired of killing people. And he feels like he's the worst person in the world, like gun to the head scenario, and he's about to kill himself. And then the TV in the background where he's about to kill himself has an anime character that's like, no, surely enough, there's someone who's, you know, benefited from your actions, your terrible actions in the past. And it like gets him thinking, and his juices flowing. He's like, well, wait a minute, maybe there is something I can do. And he's basically like, anime has saved my life. So he dedicates his life to anime and making anime. So what he does is he becomes kind of like this editor / producer in an animation studio, and he goes around and he pushes the animators to get their work done in weird ways, or he saves them from like debt collectors and stuff like that. It's actually really wild. The artwork is stunning. It's really beautifully done. This is not an amateur work at all. Like it's actually a really, really nicely put together and well-written piece of work. Okay. So the action scenes are fantastic. The character designs are fantastic. It's got a little bit of a deep dive into the animation world as well. So it's kind of analyzing how they do things in the animation world and how there's a lot of different personalities that are animating certain scenes. So this hitman's understanding of the animation industry comes into play quite heavily, because he's like, well, there's one of the characters has run away from home because he didn't want to do the scenes that they'd given him to draw because he doesn't like doing that stuff. And his response is like, oh, well, of course he doesn't like doing that stuff. He's a character animator who loves doing, emotional scenes, and you've given him flashy action scenes to draw. So he's basically run away from that scenario. He doesn't like the stuff that he's producing. So it's up to him to go and track him down and get him back to work on a different scene, as opposed to forcing him to do the action. So it's got some really, really cool little emotional tabs. And then you have like a sidekick scenario where an intern has come into the animation studio and has taken a liking to this hitman who's nobody really actually knows why he's there or who he is properly, which is the fun part of it. And the intern sort of attaches himself to this guy and then follows him as he goes through his paces of getting the animators to do their work. One of the first scene when you introduce to him in the animation studio, he's literally taking one of the animators bound and blindfolded into their work studio by gunpoint and forcing them to do their work, because that's what they're into. That's what the animator wants. is the idea. They like the idea of this sort of, it's a bit of a bondage situation where they like the idea of someone's, holding them at gunpoint to produce their high quality work for animation. It's really, really weird, but fun. Like, the characters are immensely fun. The environments are fun, and the artwork is beautiful. So highly recommend it.
That seemed
Really
problematic.
good. Rusty Bullet, it's okay. It's okay. I missed Supernatural Sumio. I might have to go back and try and read that.
Yeah, that one looks kind of fun.
Looks interesting.
Did you read My Sister, My Stuck Butt, and Me?
No.
Because that just looks like Help Me Step Bro.
It does, which is kind of probably why I didn't read it. Sculpted Girl, probably another. I don't know, the way she's holding her hand though. It's interesting. I don't know. I might go back and have a read of those and see what I can get from them.
Okay, so there's a hole in the wall, and if you put your head through it, you actually it looks like it's isekaiing her to a fantasy world.
Does he get his butt stuck in the hole, or what?
I think she gets stuck in the hole. Like, I think her butt's stuck.
Oh, so one side's on the real world, the other side's on the fantasy world.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that sounds like a hentai in the making. But
it looks okay.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. You know what? I'm going to give that a shot. Because it looks pretty weird and wild. And I like weird and wild. Those character designs are nice too.
The character designs do look pretty good.
They've spent
I just thought I thought I'd flick through it real quick.
They've spent some time. 67 pages. That's a year's worth of work right there.
Yep. Yeah.
No, it is. It is. If you account for school or work, that's a year's worth of work right there.
Yeah.
Unless you're a complete psychopath who loves just torturing themselves. This guy.
We do know some.
Yeah. So yes, definitely read
from
Hitman to Hitmaker. I want to give a quick shout out to Yatora, as well, because a lot of people don't really know what I'm talking about when I talk about that series. It's the weird one where the demon comes into the human world and eats people, but ends up adopting a group of
Oh, this
homeless
one.
kids. Yeah. It's gotten super duper interesting, because the Yatsura itself is a
Oh yeah, cool.
yeah. Yeah. It's rough. It's not a nice series. It's rough. It's full of violence and homeless kids being mistreated and all that sort of stuff. And the fact is he's raising these children to eat them. He's not raising them because he likes them. He's basically stewing his
Emergency
food.
rations.
He's stewing his food. He wants the best tasting food. So he's waiting for them to be at their ripe sort of age. So he is raising
What
them
is
and
with you
making.
and like
I
watching
don't
things
know.
about
It's on there.
monsters
It's on me. It
grooming?
just keeps happening. Keeps happening. But it starts off that way. It starts off about this weird primal device for consuming humans that have started to take over the world. So he's a primal monster designed to fix humanity's overpopulation. So over the ages, he has come out of his slumber to consume humans to fix overpopulation. So for thousands upon thousands of years, he's been doing this. And this time he's come out and eaten a whole bunch of people. And then he got himself in a scenario where he didn't understand what was happening. He didn't understand why these little creatures were doing what they were doing, and he needed to understand why. So he becomes a lot more self-aware and becomes a lot more attached to these kids than he should have, which then starts to bring about the second entity, maybe the third entity that happens when he normally either goes away or something else happens. So he is actually being hunted by another entity, which is meant to destroy him after he's finished eating the overpopulation. So it's kind of like a eat, death, rebirth sort of scenario happening,
Right.
except he's breaking that cycle, or he's starting to break that cycle, and all these other, old mythological creatures are sort of coming back up, and you're getting weird scenarios like crowds being mentally controlled in a zombie-like fashion by another creature that's trying to kill this old entity. It's beautifully handled. It's very interesting. It's very heartwarming, but also very soul crushing at the same time. All the things we love. Yeah, all the things we love. So I know you're not reading it right now.
No, but it's been on my radar to pick up because the little
Yeah.
eyeball thing's creepy and I like it.
Yeah, it's cute. No, it's cute. Trust me. And it's definitely worth looking into. 100%. And I think there's quite a few people starting to pick it up now, which is good. You want to talk about the regulars?
Real quick. Nah,
Real quick?
I got a little bit more news.
Uh,
Taro Miyaro becomes a cat parent. Is ending next week with chapter 40. It is this one. That is such a great cover. Oh my god.
That is glorious.
Just directly staring to that cat's butthole.
Yep.
That's pretty much what it is to be a cat parent. Yeah, I never got around to reading this one. But it looks fun.
Looks
Like,
cute.
It honestly just looks wholesome as heck. There's only 40 chapters.
Okay. Looks pretty lighthearted.
Close you. Shiba Inu Rooms is getting or all 3 volumes reprinted.
I read the first couple of chapters of that, and it looked like a lot of fun. Not
It looks
my
super cute.
not
Yeah.
my thing, but it looked like a lot of fun, and I imagine that people who enjoy that kind of comedy / weirdness will definitely love it. The art's really pretty. Definitely.
Okay. So this is a little bit of speculation news. Oh, that didn't work at all. So just on manga decks here. So I don't have any tinfoil. Whatever. So Weekly Shonen Jump editorial department generally follows mangakas when they're about to, say, release a new work or release a one shot along those lines. So they've recently started following Yuzahira Kenta, artist of the Dragon Student, that stands out more than me. And oh man, I don't know how to say that one. Oh,
A treasure?
Trejo. Yeah, that's my guess too. Nothing confirmed, but yeah, people are speculating that this person could be artist of a new series. And I mean, their art looks pretty nice and varied.
Yeah.
I wanted to check out this. This looks cool.
Yeah, you did. Those covers are really nice.
Right?
Man, I'm not entirely like a nerd for typography, but when they're put in the right places and they're bold, things are bold like that, I love it.
Yeah.
The color work is really nice as well. I don't like where that 13 is placed. What's a 3? Ha! It's a 3. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. We'll see how the speculation works out.
That's some nice art.
Looking good.
So hopefully, yeah, we get something from this person because their art looks pretty neat.
Tidy.
I also didn't realize the upskirt shot on that volume 3 cover.
Really? Because I thought we were staring at it for a solid 3 minutes.
You realize I'm putting things up and I'm like looking at other things while I'm doing it.
Okay. I'm just like staring at this cover. I'm like, how long are you going to keep this up for?
No, I just like went back to
it's
it.
a nice cover and all, but
and was just like, oh wow, that's just full on crotch shot, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, I've been reading Tenju Tenge, so I'm like down. I understand what's happening there.
Okay. There was going to be 2 things that I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to save one of them for next week. I started watching a series called Orb. That's what I'm going to keep for next week because I feel like there's too much to talk about it, and I kind of want to sink a little bit more teeth into it because it's a bit slow, but is it pretty and dealing with some cool shit. Cliff Notes if you're interested and want to get into it. I believe it was on Netflix, Crunchyroll, one of the two. Set in the Age of Enlightenment, I think it is. Basically, the whole premise is the Earth is round, kids. But the church says it's not. If you disagree with that, you're getting lit on fire.
Or tortured to death. One or the other.
Or both.
Yeah.
And so the main character is like, he's a scholar, he's fascinated with astronomy, but has decided to give up on that because church and religion. And he gets his mind blown by some old dude saying that the Earth is round. No.
No, you're right. Don't laugh at that. Uh,
But what I
yes,
am
but
going
we
to
will. We
briefly
will
talk
discuss.
about,
We'll discuss about it next week.
the last bit of news that I want to talk about is a second season that's been announced for a series that's coming in 2026. It's new key visual for Chained Soldier. So I got around to finally giving season one a have a
Now
look
this
at.
one's an interesting one, right? What's the chain again?
Holy shit! This falls directly into the category that teenage Brad would have absolutely adored, and it's
Gonna set it
because
right next to DXD, right?
because adult Bradley is also pretty invested. It falls into the I can't believe this isn't hentai category.
It's like PG
Uh,
hentai.
no, it's
Yeah,
not. It's
MA.
not that.
MA.
It's not PG enough. The amount of like viscosity in the makeout scene was. I can't say it's PG because I don't want to watch it with my parents. Um, so it kind of goes in the same route as like the Wheel of Time, where it has something to do with the magic system. Only women can kind of interact with it safely. So the patriarchy literally gets flipped because the matriarchy literally holds all the power now because magic. And so our MC is pretty much a house husband. That is his skill set. And he gets sucked into one of these little pocket dimensions
Roped in.
that that he basically has to get saved by the superhero women of the story. So main character girl is basically like, oh, I can enslave the monsters in this world and use them as my subordinates. I wonder if I can use it on this man as well. And so she does, and he transforms, and it's like the cool fight stuff. Except afterwards, her power rebounds, and the rebound effect is that she gets down bad and has to climb him like a tree. And that's his reward, also. But it weirdly there was no real consent. It was a little rapey, but like no one cared about it. So it was.
It's because it's a
It
written
was weird.
story.
It was very very graphic. So she's just like basically like spitting into his mouth and like throat his tongue, her tongue down his throat. It was a lot.
Someone had to animate that.
Yeah, that's all I could think of was just like, wow, someone spent a lot of time on this. But yeah, you're right. It's solely in that High School DxD, High School of the Dead, edgy action, a lot of titties and horniness going on. I only watched the first episode so far. It was fun, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just what?
Hopefully, it just eases off that a little. You know how sometimes these series they start off.
I don't think it does.
Quite heavy.
No, it's BDSM. It's called Chained Soldier, dude.
I know.
Also, I've heard that more characters get down bad as well.
Why not?
It basically, I think, is a bit of a harem series. Like it feels like a bit of Arifureta sort of vibe. Yeah.
Oh, so not a reverse harem? She doesn't get to go around and just like chain a whole bunch of dudes?
No, I'm pretty sure he gets shared around.
Damn.
Yep.
That would have been a lot more interesting though.
Which makes sense as to why they they did the whole gender swap because it'd be a little bit less. Although the amount of stuff that I do sell from the romance section, they'd pretend to be disgusted only to go and buy it. Yeah. But yeah, look forward to Orb, our discussions next week, because I feel like that I needed to talk to you about Chain Soldier. It's been a couple of weeks since I actually watched that first episode, and the new key visual for season 2 reminded me, and just good lord, so many bodily fluids.
We'll have to watch some more.
Yeah.
And next week we'll have to talk about K-manga as well. So,
manhwa?
K-manga?
Yeah, manhwa.
The Kodansha app. Remember?
Oh, that K-manga. That's right. We promised people we were going to talk about that this week, didn't we?
Yeah.
I forgot about it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just mentioned it just to...
Good. I'm glad that you remembered.
Yeah.
Good lord, this no news week has turned into a 2-hour video.
Of news.
Not much news.
Rabbit holes, man. We love those tangents.
All right.
We're done.
Yeah. We will see you again next week at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday at 8 p.m. I already said that. The other thing, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notificated.
It's a real word. I support it.
It sounds kind of like it is, but
notificated.
As opposed to notified.
Yes.
Whenever we go live.
Right.
But yeah, we'll talk about the rest of the stuff next time.
Sure we will.
Before the video starts.
Yeah.